Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Diamond Minds. We really are appreciative of such opportunities where we can learn and share together and learn together. I really appreciate the opportunity to have, you guys listening to this and just being able to share with you guys what I have from the bottom of my heart to share with you guys. Some of what I share, you guys will only appreciate maybe a decade from now, right? But I receive it, make use of it, and it's going to make a difference in your life. It's guaranteed. There's so many people that would have appreciated knowing this when they were younger. So appreciate knowing this when you're receiving it as a teen, right? This could make a huge difference in your life. Now, welcome, my Diamond Minds, and today we're looking at self-esteem, okay? We're looking at self-esteem. I'm going to tell you guys 3 solutions. A lot of people, walk around, especially teens, walk around and they're feeling as if, well, you know what, I don't have the self-esteem. There's something that's wrong, right? And they're not able to walk with confidence and boldness. And so I'm going to share with you guys some solutions that you guys can implement into your life. Write them down. Once again, take out that journal, write a couple of these down, monitor it for yourselves, and you're able to see how, it's making a difference into your life. Now, first and foremost, okay, let's begin with knowing what self-esteem is. So my solution number 1 is knowing what the self-esteem is and what it's all about. Now, self-esteem, it's an unshakable, sense of satisfaction that comes from realizing your self-worth and choosing to love, yourself and to grow yourself. As people, we're not meant to be stagnant. We're not meant to be in one phase. If a child doesn't grow, there's a problem, right? You have got to grow. You have got to go through all the different processes and the phases of life, both good and bad, because both of them bring in, something into your life, okay? So we have to grow. Now, self-esteem also understands that one is as great and capable as anyone else. Not more, not less, but as capable as anyone else out there. Therefore, you need to realize your worth and also remain humble and respectful of other people. Self-worth doesn't mean that you're arrogant and you're walking about, feeling as if you're cooler than anybody else, right? You're better than anybody else. You can push everybody else around. No, that's not self-esteem. Self-esteem means that you appreciate who you are, but also you appreciate who somebody else is, right? You respect yourself, you respect somebody else. You love yourself, you love somebody else. You acknowledge that we all as humanity, right, can contribute more effectively when we work together. So no one has got to be looked down upon, right? No, we don't underestimate and undermine anyone else. We love everybody and we appreciate everybody equally as much as we would like to be appreciated too. The golden rule, do to others as you'll have them do unto you, right? So self-esteem, first and foremost. Understand that if somebody else out there can achieve, so can you, right? So don't walk around being envious when somebody else achieves. No, be inspired rather by that, because if they can do it, that means they've broken the impossible, right? Now you see that it is possible because somebody else has already done it. And so you can receive inspiration from that and make sure that you also are doing it and getting things done. So self-esteem centers on a couple of building blocks. Okay, now these building blocks are important, as a foundational structure so that self-esteem can be able to, be built upon after that. We've got unconditional love, right? Unconditional love with no conditions. It's not a matter of I love because or I love when, I love that. No. You love simply, right? You love simply because you are who you are, right? You love humanity. You love, the gift of life. You love, right? So if you have love for yourself, regardless of your flaws and your mistakes, your past, your failures, what you did or you did not do, right? Whether you passed well and you studied and you excelled in your grades, or whether you're flunking, and a bad reputation. Unconditional love means you love yourself regardless. Now, it's not conceited, okay? It's not a lustful kind of a love. No, you love yourself for who you are, right? You appreciate, you accept, and you love yourself for who you are. That is unconditional love, okay? Whether you are achieving and you are reaching your goals, or whether you are failing, and you're still learning in life, you still love yourself, right? Because yourself is who you have. So you need to grow with yourself, develop yourself, right? Appreciate what you have, right? And work with what you have, which is yourself. Now, you have unconditional love, okay? If people are saying all sorts of things about you, you can push that aside because right? It's not who you are. It is not. It's just what they're saying about you. Now, unconditional love means that you're going to walk in a room, and be able to speak your ideas and, and be able to appreciate, even if you have it right or you have it wrong, but this is who you are. If you're meant to be speaking, you're going to speak because you love yourself for who you are. Okay? If you're meant to be writing, you're going to be writing, right? You're in line with who you are. You love yourself for who you are. Now, you may not, have been developed in other areas of your life. You might be in the process of still learning who you are. But unconditional love means that you love yourself regardless. Okay? You love yourself as you continue in the phase of growing and developing yourself. You completely love yourself. You continue also. You will always love yourself. So, unconditional love is very important towards your own self-esteem. Love yourself. Okay? Forgive yourself, right? Forgive your past failures and mistakes, but just love yourself. Okay? Love who you are. And also, unconditional worth. A lot of times people would assume that, my worth is defined by what I achieve. Okay? Now, sometimes parents can contribute to this. Society can contribute to this. When you do something good, they tell you, well done, right? When you do something, they will appraise you when you do something, okay? And if you don't do that thing, sometimes they don't appraise you. Sometimes they don't say, well done, and then you assume that in order for you to be appreciated, in order for you to be valued, you've got to do something, right? But unconditional worth is saying that before you go out there and you do, the dishes for your parents, and you cook, and you wash your dad's car, your mom's car, and you do the yard, and you do your homework for your teachers, and you work out, and you practice in sports for your coaches. Before you do all of that, unconditional worth says that, it's not about what you do, it's about who you are. So unconditional worth and unconditional love essentially are working together, right? But unconditional worth says you are worthy, you are valuable, okay? You are appreciated for who you are before you get to starting to do anything out there. It's not about behavior, it's purely because you are human, okay? You're a child of the living God. So we've got unconditional worth, you've got unconditional love. Both of these are working towards your self-esteem. So in other words, if people are going to come and not value you or show you, the kind of value that you feel that you most desire, it does not negate the fact that you are a valuable person. Right? You continue to be valuable. It's not about the external, what everybody else or anybody else has done out there, but it's purely about who you are. You can take a money note, the highest currency, a note, and you can take that note and you can fold it and you can, you can squash it, you can throw it on the floor, you can step on it, you can even tear it in half, and use tape to put it together, but the value of that note, it remains the same. It remains the same. Even if you stain it with coffee or you stain it with ink or anything like it remains the same. The value remains the same because it's not, dependent on the external or the things that are outside or where it is, It can be found outside laying on the grass. It's still valuable. The value doesn't change. So your worth does not change based on your circumstance. It does not change based on who and where you are. Where you are, it doesn't change because of where you are. It remains because of who you are. All right? You are a valuable human. And so keep that in mind. Appreciate yourself. Put yourself, in a position in your mind that you are valuable. You are valuable unconditionally. So we're talking about unconditional love. We're talking about unconditional worth. Okay. Now, you also would like, to grow, right? Work towards your growth. Put these together, together and ensure that you are headed towards, effective growth. Want to see progress in your life, okay? Let's see progress in your life. But remember, it does not change, your esteem and your worth because of what you have achieved or not. Now, another solution, now that you understand what self-esteem is, that was the first thing, understand it. Solution number 2 for you guys, be mindful. Yeah, be considerate of other people around you. Sometimes people will be thinking, well, you know what, if I do something, then that's when my esteem is gonna come, right? A behavior is what determines my esteem. No, okay, it's not about that. It's not about your behavior, but it's about who you are. So as much as we said that you are deserving of esteem, you should give it to other people as well, right? Don't want to put yourself on a high pedestal and want to look down on anybody else. No, all right? Remember that we all, as humanity, we are social beings, right? There's a reason why we're social beings. We all need to contribute together towards making a far better society for us all. So be mindful. Now also, it's quite important that you remember this, okay? In your mind, you find a lot of theorists and a lot of psychologists and studies, okay, have determined for years and decades and generations before, right, that we operate in essentially 2 kinds of mind. You've got your inner wisdom mind, right? And you've got the external, the ordinary mind, okay? So you've got the mind, some will say the conscious mind, and then the inner subconscious mind, right? So you operate in 2 kinds of mind. It's not just the one mind. No, you've got different layers of mind that you operate in. Now the initial one, the ordinary mind, right, the conscious mind, it's focused on that's where anxieties and fears and stresses, all these thoughts, they come, okay, they all come. But you still have the ability to sieve, okay, what is going to enter into your wisdom mind, what's going to enter into your deeper kind of mind, to your deeper thinking, okay? Whatever you can hear, whatever you see, you still have the ability to reject it and say, no, this is not true of me. It's not a matter of what people say about you, you accept as true. No, they say it because they can, but you still have the ability to reject, this is not who I am, okay? Now, in your wisdom mind, your inner mind, okay, when you're operating from there, you actually are able to reason far better. This is where you're able to apply your emotions far better, and not act on a flight or fight kind of a response, but you're able to think, okay, what is it that I can do here? What is the best, course of action that I can take here, right? So you act, and you think in manners which are more calm, more reasonable, more mature, okay, when you're acting in your deeper mind. Now, you need to develop certain attitudes. And some of them are even developed by you, working towards, not just acting, not just responding to what happens in your life and in your life situations, but taking the time to apply yourself. What is it that I can do about this thing, which is a far better reflection of my character? So you need to be a patient person, right? If you develop these attitudes, it's going to work for you. So be patient. As you operating, be patient. Someone comes here and they say something and it's offending you. Don't respond immediately. No. Take the time, calm yourself down, be patient. Which course of action can I take? Which is a lot more, a far better reflection of my character. You need to accept, okay? Accept yourself. And sometimes it means you accept certain situations that you are in. You're not walking around and complaining of what's happening. No, this thing that's happening and I want to complain. I want to complain about this as well. Oh, life is not happening my way, I'm complaining. No, you accept, right? What you can't change, you accept, and then you work, with what you've got. And you give it your best and you make the most of what you've got. You turn your lemons into lemonade. You turn your overripened bananas into banana bread, okay? But you need to accept it. Accept what it is that life gives your way, because that is what's going to cultivate a far better character, which you're going to use in any case. You want to operate, in an attitude of compassion, right? Don't just say, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do, and it doesn't matter because that's what I want. No, you want to also consider, how will my actions affect other people, right? How will what I do and what I say, how will it affect somebody else? And when you operate from that kind of a thinking and a capacity, you feel more fulfilled as a person, right? That person whom you may have helped or you may have been considerate of, can bless you, or they can assist you, or maybe they can assist you, sometime in life when you are the one that is in need of help, because life, is so unpredictable. So show compassion. Have that attitude of showing compassion. It's fulfilling, to you as well. It's gonna uplift, your level of esteem. So again, don't be judgmental. Don't look at people and assume, okay, well, why are they doing this? If I was them, I would have done this. You don't know. Okay, you don't know what you would have done if you were in their shoes. Okay, so don't judge other people. Okay, don't be too attached to certain things, because say you are attached to certain, to clothes or shoes, you're attached to certain friends, they disappoint you, or maybe there's a loss and they go. It affects you because you attached yourself and your worth to something else or someone else. Okay, so don't do that. Don't attach yourself to somebody else. No, before you appreciate and you are there and you maybe commit to, someone or something, you should be able to understand that you and your worth come before that. They come before that. So that if anything happens, you won't feel as if you as a person, are now no longer a person because of what has happened. No, life happens, but you should not attach yourself to things, right, which are, non-permanent, right, things which could change. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, so your worth should not be attached to things that can change. Don't do that. So also have a beginner's mind. Have a learning attitude. Be willing to learn. If you're wrong about something and someone says you're wrong and maybe some people laugh, it doesn't mean that your worth should be deteriorated because somebody told you that you made a mistake, or because somebody told you that you were wrong, or because everybody else seemed to know something which you didn't know. No, rather understand that, well, they could have been exposed better in this area, and maybe there's something I could learn from them, right? It should not take away from your esteem. It should not take away from your worth, but it should rather show you, an area that you may be interested in developing about yourself. So you find a lot of times, people hate themselves, not because of hating themselves. They hate themselves because of what they see in other people. Everybody else is driving a car. Everybody else, is getting an A. Everybody in my class is getting an A in the subject, and I am getting a C or I'm getting a D, right? So there must be something wrong with me. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, okay? So don't be comparing yourself with others. Compare yourself with yourself. Compare yourself with your previous accomplishments. Compare yourself with what it is that you didn't know and you're able to make a difference in, or you're able to improve in. So have that learning attitude. I don't know it now. How am I going to learn it? And learn it, okay? And don't be grumpy and don't hate somebody who knows it more than you, and show pride and envy. No. Right? Who knows? You could be friends. You could be learning a lot more from each other. As much as you could learn from somebody else, they can learn from you, because there's something that you have learned better than they did. When they were learning what they have learned, there was something which you are learning too, right? So don't be afraid to learn, okay? Because as much as you learn, somebody else can be learning from you as well. Okay, and also good humor. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake and turning back and saying, you know what, I made a mistake here. You know what, let me just laugh it off and I won't forget about this, right? And don't be too serious about yourself, okay? You don't have to walk around and be perfect. Okay, I'm doing this thing, I have to do it right. Oh wow, I didn't do it right, therefore there must be something wrong with me. No, okay? Don't do that, okay? So you could make mistakes, okay? It's okay. You planned everything so well. It did not go very well. Maybe there's something which you could not have, foreseen and it happened, right? So don't put yourself in a position where you have to really, like you feel as if you're down just because you did not get something done, okay? If it means that it was funny afterwards, well, laugh it off, right? Laugh it off and learn from it and continue, okay? So don't be so tense, and, entertain, strictness and seriousness and everything. Life also should be enjoyed. So have a sense of good humor, yeah? All right. And also commitment, okay? Like, again, commit to yourself, commit to your own personal development, commit to, to just becoming a better person, right? So have the attitude of commitment. You said you'll get something done, commit to doing it and make sure that you're going to see it through, right? And have the attitude, of generosity, right? Don't just want to receive and receive and receive. I want to take, okay? What is it that you can give in return, right? You will feel fulfilled when you start giving. If you are just receiving and this parasite that just takes and takes and takes, right? It's all about me and what I want and what I have, right? It takes away from you, okay? So rather work towards being able to give. The more you give, right? The kind of feelings that you get, the kind of satisfaction and fullness you receive from giving, right? It's going to also help towards, you feeling that sense of esteem, that sense of worth, okay? All right, so my third solution for you guys, I think I'm going to end here. Third and final solution for today. I'm going to be sharing more, in the next session as well. But for this session, I'm going to end on this third solution here. Clear away negative thoughts, okay? You don't want to be operating from thoughts which are negative and thoughts which are, weighing you down, thoughts which are, not assisting you. You've got a goal, but your thoughts are taking you away. It's like having that worst enemy, right? Your thoughts are your worst enemy. You do not want to have thoughts which are your worst enemy. You want to have thoughts that are going to be assisting you, thoughts that are going to be empowering you, thoughts that are going to be encouraging you, okay? So you want to have good thoughts. Thoughts about yourself. Such thoughts are going to help even with your esteem. When you tell yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, you did a good job. When you do a good job, it helps you, right? It helps you and the fullness of your esteem. So you get some people, that have distorted thoughts. Some people are walking around and they think, wow, you know what? Everything that's happening is because of me, right? So they've already, defined themselves as the problem. Everything that happens, people are looking and they're laughing because of me. People are doing all sorts of things because of me. Right? You're seeing them, wow, they're looking at this and, they're saying this. When I came, they were talking loud. I entered and now they're whispering, it must be because of me, right? And some people, they just take away from their esteem because of the kind of thoughts that they entertain. Something happens and they just make it much bigger than it is. They exaggerate, right? I fell, but oh my goodness, I made a huge blunder of life. I'm such a failure. I'm such a, I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. Okay. So people do that. Okay. And they make certain, remarks about themselves, remarks that are not assisting in any way. So make sure that the thoughts that you have of yourself, the words that you say to yourself, right? And words that you say, sometimes you listen to yourself. Take the time to listen to yourself. When you're speaking about yourself, are you, shining away any good? Sometimes someone will give a compliment. Oh, wow, you did something well. Oh, no, it's nothing, right? So if it's something good that's said about you, you don't know how to receive it. You just are brushing it off because you know what? No, there has to be something negative that you are going to, accept about yourself, but you don't accept the positives about yourself. So work on, looking at yourself and seeing the value in yourself. So stop assigning, a value, in connection with what you've done and the actions that you've done. No. Your value and your worth is defined, right? Based on, the fact that you are human, based on the fact that you are who you are, right? Your life without you in it does not make sense. Immediately when your life comes to an end, it doesn't matter anymore. for you. It does not matter anymore for you. Yes, people can say all sorts of things, they can praise you. Oh, you are such a good person. But for you, it doesn't matter anymore. So you are very much important in your life. And so your value and your worth should continue regardless of what it is that you know and what you have and what you've done, what you didn't do, right? And where you went and where you didn't go and who you were with and who you weren't with, right? So continue, valuing yourself and continue speaking words of encouragement to yourself, right? And not, don't compare yourself with other people of what they have, what they've done. No, it's about you, right? And what it is that you are accomplishing and how you are advancing and getting better and better each and every day. So my child diamonds, I hope you have been recording a couple of these, the points that have resonated with you. I hope you are recording these. Again, you're going to need that journal. You're going to be using that journal. Write these thoughts down. Don't try to remember them. Write them down. And we're continuing to learn, together and sharing some ideas of what you can use, right, to make your life far more meaningful, okay, to move away from certain things that are weighing you down. So we're saying no to poor self-esteem. We're saying no, to poor self-worth, and no to poor self-love, right? It's not about conceitedness. It's not about arrogance, but you need to love yourself. You need to appreciate yourself. You need to value yourself, okay? So let's work on that one as well. So I'm going to see you in the next session, and hope you are going to implement this, and you're going to keep this, and you're going to share it with your fellow teens and fellow mates, and make sure anybody who needs to hear this has got to receive this message this year. Save someone's life, right? Start with your own, right? Save somebody's life, and let's empower one another together in this year. Have a very, very awesome day, and we'll see you in the next session.